truth, the light. Nobody comes to the Father except through me.
Bible Club. Eternal life.
He is the way and he's Jesus Christ. Yeah. Nobody comes to the Father except through me. He is the way and he's Jesus Christ. Yeah. Nobody comes to the Father except through me. He is the way and he's Jesus Christ. Yeah. Nobody comes to the Father except through me. He is the way and he's Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Hey, good evening, everybody. This is your host, Huge Pop, from the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. And oh my God, I'm here alone by myself, but I have some things I need to talk about. I have some thank yous I need to shout out. I got some plans for 2024. And the end of the show, I have a custom championship belt that Huge Pop himself created, and I'd like to show it off to you guys. I got it in the mail today. I'm super excited for that. So yeah, I got a lot to talk about. And a little bit of time to do it. So, again, Huge Pop, the pot stirrer. I've had many times and many opportunities to stir the pot, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But I want to just say 2023 has been freaking amazing. My brother and I, we got a chance to talk to lots and lots and lots of cool individuals. We made friends on TikTok. We did the Wrestle Talk thing for a little while. We did stuff like that, and things developed pretty heavily and got some good stuff. And 2023 was a blast. Like it started off, we had Ken Anderson on the show, and I wish I could have had time to pull up the video, but that show was epic. My brother and Ken Anderson had a Anderson off, and that was fun. So I could probably get that. Let me see. You guys, if anybody's in the chat, let me know. I'm gonna try to get that video clip of the Anderson off. That was pretty fun. But it was fun. It was a good time. This year's been great. Met lots and lots of cool people. Many different promotions. And all over the place. Everything from having Ken Anderson on here to all the indie shows. And let me tell you, the indie shows are just as nice. You guys pour your heart out to them, to the fans. So it was just a joy. It was I don't understand. I don't know what else to say. That we met lots and lots of people, and so. Ken Anderson, Monster Tokyo Kahagas down in Florida here. He's an indie guy. He's I think he's a TCW, Thunder Championship Wrestling. It was fun. He was a great individual. Kind of intimidated me at first when he said that he had to hide his face behind he couldn't show his face, and I'm like, okay. What's up, Dad? Thank you. I'm just telling everybody thank you for all the stuff and everything, all the support. So I thank you, my dad, for the support. But Tokyo Monster Kahagas was a great interview. He's big in indies. He travels all over the United States. If you can get him on the show, I would advise that for sure. Ender Cave, thank you for joining the show on Instagram. But I was talking to you about that that video of Ken Anderson. So let's replay how that went.
Speaking of Ken Anderson, there's something that I do in every episode, but
of course, it's time, right? Is it time?
Is it time?
It's time. Yeah,
I believe it's time.
I believe it's time.
All right, let's see how badly I can butcher this thing.
You say that every time, man. Have confidence in yourself. See, here, let me talk. What? Stop. Let me talk to you real quick.
Let me talk to you.
If you're going to do this, you're going to call Mr. Anderson out. Have confidence. That was the wrong video. But anyways, maybe I'll throw it up that on tomorrow. But we had Monster Tokyo Kahagas and Mark Jindrak, Alex Kane was on the show, Shane Taylor, Big Fitz from CWF, Luke 9, the Bible Club, We've had Phil the Real Deal Bishop. We had Lawless on the show. JT, I was on the show. Soon to have Rob Vaughn. That promotion in itself has been a blessing for Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast for myself. It was one of those promotions that you're like, I don't know if I should do it. You know, your fan base is not normally, you don't know if there's Christian, non-Christian. You don't know if they're going to step on your toes. I had a long conversation with my wife about that. And she says, you know, what's in your heart? And I was like, my heart's to allow you indie wrestlers to showcase your talents and share your stories. And I took a chance on that CWF, and it's been a huge blessing. Want to talk about brotherhood in professional wrestling? There's brotherhood in podcasts, and you meet these promotions, and you know, Big Fitz, Jeremy from JT from that show, everybody. You know, my mom passed away in October, and they were first in line to message me. And after that, when I posted what happened, and they're always on a daily basis. They're reaching out to me. My mom and dad loved Monday Night CWF. My mom was one of my biggest supporters, so I can't forget her. You know, she was that mom that would push you and push you and push you to continue and striving for the best, what you want to do. And mom and dad are great supporters of the show, and they're gonna never give up attitude. So going forward, we're not gonna give up. We're gonna only get better. Lots of stuff in plan for 2024. You have CWF roster. I want to say thank all the CWF roster for everything that they've done. I think that's important. Austin Aries was on the show. I got the book behind me. Austin Aries was on the show 2 weeks ago, leading up into Chaos in the Cage of XIW Extreme Impact Wrestling out of Panama City. He came on the show. He shared his stories. He was nice enough to come on, and he gave me some books. He signed some autographs. So that was a good experience to have Austin Aries on the show. Man, one of a kind guy. Again, he's genuine. He has his opinions, and he doesn't push anything, you know. So the book he gave me, I got other copies. So that was fun there. That was Austin Aries. He ended up losing that match, but he against Bubba Shaddix at Chaos in the Cage at XIW 2 weeks ago. I think this December 3rd, 3 weeks ago. That was insane. So I wanted to take the time and thank XIW Extreme Impact Wrestling for being one of the main reasons why I do this. You know, my brother and I, we did every Tuesday and Thursday shows talking about our AEW and Monday Night Raw. That thing just got crazy for the afternoons, and Matt went on his own and on the same platform, but he had his own. It was on Beyond the Mat, and that show is freaking amazing. He had some crazy creators on there that they talk everything wrestling, and I'd pay attention to that show. That show is an excellent show if you like wrestling talk, if you like opinions and stuff like that. So I would encourage people in 2024 to stay tuned and look out for Wednesdays. It'll be Beyond the Mat. Matt has some guests lined up, I hope. And he's talking about it. He had fun doing it, you know, and so we'll continue doing that. And another show my brother and I do was Huge Pop Friday Sports Talk. So we take sports. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Hey, get that. Oh, no, come on now. All right. So Paul has jokes. Paul Wolfram is a friend of the family's, friend of mine. And when I was growing up, a kid, my mom and dad would hang out with Paul's mom and dad, and my sister and I would travel down with them to Allegan, Michigan. And that's what shocks me. I mean, he's a Michigan State fan. See, the problem is, Paul, Michigan is in the playoffs. Michigan State wasn't even considered to be anywhere near the playoffs. There's a big difference. Little big brother Michigan, little sister Michigan State. Go Blue. That's exactly right, Dad. Go Blue. But no. So talk about Huge Pop Friday Sports Talk. Paul Wolfram is the father of Grant Wolfram. He's in the Texas Rangers organization. We had him on at the end of November I think end of November, early November, and he shared his stories about college ball, about high school ball, about his experience in the minor leagues, and he's excited because he's so close from being called up to the bigs. And it's a great conversation. So if you want to go back on the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast YouTube channel and check out that video, that was a very good video. So I got to reach out to him here to maybe around the end of the year, and he wants to come back on and give his college football picks for the championship weekend. So that's a great thing. Thank you, Paul, for coming on. Look up, hey guys, you baseball fans out there watching, check out Grant Wolfram. I don't know if he's in, I think he lives in Texas. Am I right, Paul? But check him out. Check his Texas Ranger organization. A lot of great stories. Check that out on the thing. I want to thank my brother Matt. This journey started 2 years ago, and it seemed like my brother and I would call each other either on the phone twice a day, probably 5 days a week, if not 6 days a week, and we talk wrestling. So we just got this crazy idea that we'd start a wrestling show, and we did, and it was fun. It's been fun. It's going to be fun going forward. So yeah, all those we had lots of laughs. One of the biggest, most amazing disagreements we had. Imagine that, two brothers having disagreements, right? My dad knows all about that. But we argued with each other about what CM Punk was doing in AEW and how Tony Khan handled the situation and all this, the media scrum. And that was some very, very highlighted information, highlighted video. It was very, not very controversial, but very opinionated and exciting video footage to cover. So that was fun there. And my brother and I would, my brother and I go way back as far as when we disagree. I can remember stories of he thought the Minnesota Vikings were going to win something. I don't know. I can't remember. And the biggest one was Indiana was playing Kent State in a round of the NCAA basketball tournament. And he had Kent State because he knew these guys, blah, 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 blah. I said, there's no way you're going to be Indiana or whatever. And anyways, my team won, and he was like very mad at the fact that I was rubbing his, I was teasing him, bragging about it, but that's what brothers do, right? So, back to the wrestling. So, XIW, Damian Wayne, Adrian Whisper is the promoter of XIW. They're independent wrestling promotion in Panama City. That relationship started in February of 2023 when I had my first experience of independent wrestling. And I'm thinking, I am so blessed and so thankful for that opportunity, because that's what got me really excited about doing independent wrestling talk. And when we got done, I'll just tell you a little bit about the promotion. They are probably more R-rated than PG-rated. So if you were going to take your kids to an independent wrestling promotion, XIW, expect there to be cursing, expect there to be blood, expect there to be some crazy violence, but that's what XIW Extreme means, Extreme Impact Wrestling. Love those guys. At the end of the first event I was at, Adrian Whisper, the promoter of the XIW, he invited several of my kiddos into the ring, and he showed them how to properly take a body slam, and they got to feel how it was. So if you can imagine, you got these 11 or 12-year-olds getting body slammed, but they got to realize that it's scripted. There's a way to do it, and I remember that to that day. That was the best moment for those kids. It's just to see the smiles on the kids' face was incredible. Paul, don't go nowhere, because I got a belt reveal that you'll love. Okay, just don't go nowhere, Paul. So MC, that's XIW. I mean, I've had the opportunity to talk to Damian Wayne, Vordell Walker, Jackson Slade, Adrian Whisper, John Saxon. So some of these guys are legends in the business. Controversial Inc., big in the NWA. La Brava, female champion of XIW, big in the NWA, making her way around the Indies, up and down the coast. So they're excellent. Exotic Youth with Zach Mosley and Pepper Bottom, they're big in Georgia. So they'll be on the show late February. I've had a chance to meet several big stars that would come to XIW. I got to meet Chase Stevens from XIW in that XIW event. I got to meet these guys are up and coming. You got Justin H2 Overstreet. You got you got Bubba Shaddix up and coming. You got Cameron Thomas. Cameron Thomas and Justin Overstreet, they've been on Impact as security guards, as locker room security guards. So these guys they're making their way up the industry, and it's going to be fun. So MCW, I cannot thank Jimmy Smooth enough. Johnny Cash, Johnny Cash, Sin, Oscar, those guys, man. Nick Nolan, I got a chance to have him on the podcast versus Koa. They had a face-off every Friday. On a Friday of a big event, I do what they call a face-off. I bring the two people that's competing in the final match, the main event, in, and they talk shit to each other. They pick each other apart. And I stir the pot, of course. That's the appropriate time to do that. But MCW, man, I just want to take right now. So thank you, Day, and thank you because I got a poster that was sent to me by Johnny Cash. So I have to take it out. MCW, these guys. That's the advertising for the event on January 6th. AMB, he's a star in XIW. Casey Jackson's in the background. Like I said, John Pike or Johnny Cash is on there. And one of my good friends from MCW and Independent is Johnny Cash. He was the first person on the podcast ever of Huge Pop Wrestling when I started interviews. He knew the situation with my mom and how it was affecting me and et cetera, et cetera. So 2 weeks after I get home from my mom's funeral, I get this package from him in the mail, and it had that picture I just showed you, and the roster signed it. To me, that's just, it's family, it's brotherhood. We talk about brotherhood in business. There's brotherhood in podcast creators and people they meet. I think brotherhood's very, 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 very important. You got people to lean on, in certain situations, and that's always cool. Some of the guests that we've had are Duke the Dumpster Drozy. Man, that guy's phenomenal. Want to talk about opinions of WWF? He has them. He's experienced some of that stuff. C.W. Anderson, JT Energy, Barrett Brown, Will Allday, Jackson Slade, Justin Fowler, Zach Mosley, Chad Lale, and Chase Stevens are some of the guys that I've met over the 2023. I want to thank Rico. Rick. He's I don't know what you call him. What do you call the person that is your son's father-in-law? I guess I don't know if they're in-laws or what, but he's like a brother to me. We'll just say that he's like a brother to me. Rico, thank you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for the support. He's on the show Mondays and Tuesdays normally. Matt, my bro, Matt, thank you so much, bro. Thank you for pushing. Thank you for understanding on times that we can't go on the show. Thank you for being flexible. Thank you for always being having great content. I think they're going to be big in 2024. George Thomas. He's on there. He's Rico's brother. Justin Bundy. Thank you, JB, for being there, as a support. And JB and I and my brother, we didn't have a falling out, but it was kind of cool. We took a break from all of us, and I was dealing with stuff. Matt was dealing with stuff. JB was dealing with stuff. It's okay. It's okay to have issues, and it's okay to step back. It's okay to take a break from everybody, because in the end of the day, those that are true friends will be there, will always be there, and JB's one of them. Matter of fact, JB is going to be making his return in January 2024. He's going to be part of the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. He has the shirt, he has a humongous knowledge, he can share with everybody. And so I'm excited to have him come back. You might see him tomorrow. We might be doing a little bit of a podcast tomorrow just to make content. So watch out for tomorrow's Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. JB, Cody Cornett, Cody, one of a kind individual. Man, you want to talk about opinions? He's got them. But it's cool. He's very supportive. I think Matt shared with me a comment that Cody showed him, and I am thankful. I am honored that he would make this comment about me. He said that I should get the podcast creator of the year because I put in so much hard work and I create good product and stuff like that. So I say thank you, Cody, but it's a team effort, man. Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast would not be Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast if it wasn't for Matt, Cody, Rico, George, JB, myself. I thank my wife every day because when you want to quit, she says, "No, you can't quit. That's your hobby. That's that's your passion." And let's truth be known, I hope someday that broadcasting journalists could take off and make a shit ton of money, and so I can do something different than what I'm doing now. I love what I do now. Don't get me wrong, but it'd be awesome just to have a podcast that would run and support itself. And I do want to thank Rick Del Santo, Rick from PWZ. Man, thanks for pushing me. Thanks for bouncing ideas off of me. Thank you. I want to thank WSBN Sports Network TV. I want to thank YouTube, Twitch, Facebook Live, Instagram Live now. I want to thank all the platforms that allow me to put product onto the platforms like they are. Yeah, man, it's been so much fun. What is in store for 2024, you ask? Well, 2024, we're still going to have Beyond the Mat. We're going to have Huge Pop Sports Talk. I just want to plug in a possible Huge Pop Sports Talk guest would be Daryl Eubanks. He owns his own gym in Chattanooga, Tennessee. He a bodybuilder, etc. Good friend of mine. Also, my nephew. Watch out for this name. He plays for the Oklahoma Sooners golf team. PJ Maybank. I'm super excited to have an opportunity to have him on the show. We got to just arrange it and see how it's going to work out. So PJ Maybank, I can't wait. He's going to share his. He's been in golfing since he was a little kid. Just watching videos. It's just an amazing story. I can't wait for him to come on. Sundays are slated for Southland Championship Wrestling, SCW. Hunter Payne is the promoter. And on Sunday, the idea for that show is probably 2 to 3 times a month I will have interviews on a Sunday. And on the opposite day that there's not an interview on a Sunday, I'll be showing some SCW footage where I might be doing some watch-alongs and commentary and stuff like that. That's Sundays. Mondays is a jam-packed with Wrestling with Purpose, CWF Rockwall. I have guests all the way lined up through end of February. I'm excited about that. It's gonna be fun. Guys, thank you, JT, for setting all those up. Jeremy for setting those all up. Rob Vaughn for giving me the permission to speak with you guys, and I thank you guys for all the prayers and all the insight on what Jesus is doing in your lives. Because when you guys talk about that, I want you guys to hear me real close. CWF Rockwall has changed. It's helped me get through some stuff, and everything. To hear their testimonies and to hear their love for Jesus just encourages people, and it's just an amazing place. That's Monday. So then we're gonna go. I don't have anything ready for Tuesday just yet. Wednesdays is Huge Pop Gets Knocked Out. Nick Vick from Knockout Entertainment. We connected about the middle of November, and he's been a blessing. He's been an encourager. He owns, like I said, Nick Vick owns Knockout Entertainment, and he's coaching me a little bit through how to do sponsorships and stuff. So if anybody's watching this and they want to be a sponsor of the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast, leave it in the comments on whatever platform. I'd love to have some sponsors. I'd plug your business in a kind of a commercialist during my podcast. We could talk about what kind of fee it would be per month. But I'd just love to get some sponsorships. So if anybody knows of any good sponsors or wants to be a sponsor, please hit me up, and let's get your name out on the podcast in the wrestling world. So Wednesdays is Knockout Entertainment. At Knockout Entertainment, Huge Pop Knockouts, we get the chance to talk to professional boxers, MMA fighters, wrestlers, female models. Body positivity is what their goal is, what their theme is. They have their own clothing line. But again, Nick Vick is the guy that him and I collaborate together, and we're both on the show. The huge announcement for that, I got big announcements for that. There's a lineup. It's Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central, on Wednesdays on the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast platforms. Randy Hogan will be on the show January 3rd. Randy Hogan, for those that don't know, Randy Hogan is the guy from WCW that came down the ring with the same kind of haircut as Hulk Hogan, wearing the same kind of clothes. He was an imitator of that. We're going to hear his stories on the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. So that's going to be fun. Thursdays will be SICW Thursdays. I've learned a lot from Herb Simmons from SICW about the old school wrestling back in the territory days. We talked a lot about wrestling in the Chase, which is out of St. Louis. The Briscoes, the Harley Races, the Bushwhackers. Those are guys that came through his place. He's genius. He's a knowledgeable man. He's been in the business for 50 years, so that was a fun interview. But there's a lineup for Thursday. There's all kinds of people. St. Vincent. Sean Vincent is going to be on the show this Thursday. Will be the last show of Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast for the 2024 as far as interviews go. He's a Canadian warrior, I think it was some Canadian champion. So that's gonna be fun. So SICW Wednesdays. If you want to talk to legends or listen to what legends have to say, I'd tune into that Thursday show. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Florida. That we also have some people we're working with. I've already mentioned FCW, WWN/FIP. They're another Florida brand, and Florida Wrestling Empire. Those are two of the Florida Wrestling Empire, two of the wrestling promotions that I will be covering 2024. Who knows? We'll bring them on, and we're going to try to share their coverage and footage and stuff like that. Big announcement for June 8th and 9th, I believe. Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast will be in St. Augustine, Florida. I'll have my vendor table there, and we'll have our podcast set up at the River City Wrestling Convention 2024. Yes, I have a guest that's going to be at our table. Those that are listening, don't write this name down, guys. I wouldn't have picked him unless I didn't think he was an up-and-coming star and a good in the ring. Jackson Slade from XIW, Extreme Impact Wrestling, Panama City. Check him out. He's all up. Google him. Jackson Slade. He puts on some good bangers of the match. I'll say that I'm going to plug this. Right now, he's in the stable with John Saxon. I call John Saxon the Puppet Master and Jackson Slade the Puppet. He turned heel on the fans here this year. It's been a blast. I heckle him all the time. I stir the pot all the time. Imagine that. And Jackson Slade, man, he's going to be live and in color, live and in person on June 8th, I believe. It's a Saturday. So I'll be having live footage from that. Who knows? Maybe a wrestler will come by the booth and we can chit chat. So, but yeah, that's basically the lineup for 2023. And I'm sorry, Gary Jackson. Here's a guy from SICW. Gary Jackson, Night Train Gary Jackson. He's an old school wrestler. So he's been in WWF. So this kind of workers that Herb Simmons gets in his promotions. So more of these guys are to come. So up and coming people. But what I really want to come on here for, I'm super excited, was to say thank you and to unveil this belt. I just want to make sure I give the right people the right props, because I've been kind of nervous to get this done. Second, guys. Here we go. All right. I want to reveal the belt. This guy, Muhammad Laquam, from. Let's see where he's at. Where's he from? Come on, dude. Royal Belts, I believe. Anybody still out there? Anybody have questions? So here we go. I cut the box open. All right. I'm going to stand up for this. Oh, wait. All right. So this thing is heavy. Holy crap. Thing's heavy. So a little bit about me, man. I'm a wrestling fan. I have my own podcast, and I'm a Michigan fan. Go Blue. Nothing else needs to be said. So I created this belt based on who I am. And here goes nothing. Yeah. I don't want to wreck anything. Smells like leather. Really good. Better it's made out of leather. So there's that. Gotta get this bubble wrap off. The bubble wrap has to come off. All right. So the bubble wrap is off. If I can have my wife come and pick up the bubble wrap off the thing. So you guys are gonna be able to see it before me. So of course, blue and gold are my colors, right? Because I'm a Michigan man. So I have to support them because they're gonna win the national championship. We know it. Everybody knows it. So there's the tape off of it. So just upside down. Nope. All right. Here's Pop Wrestling Podcast. My custom made Huge Pop Wrestling Championship belt. That's sick as hell, dude. Hell yeah. That is sick. Okay, so there we go. There you go. Detail is so awesome, guys. This is heavy. Same weight as a championship belt. What's your thoughts, guys? What's your thoughts? So there's Day One-ish, another Huge Pop album. The OG Huge Pop. The OG Huge Pop. And other. Ugh. Thanks, Johnny Cass, man. Hell yeah! I want to thank Royal. I want to thank the guy that made it for me. I appreciate it, guys. I know it's a short stream, but I just wanted to basically come on and say thank you, and I wanted to unload this belt because I was super excited about it. Kind of an early Christmas present to me from my wife, and I am super happy about this, guys. Holy cow! My God, that's so cool. So yeah. Anyway, thank you again for everybody. Thank you for support. Thank you for the love. Thank you for always being there. Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast 2024, WSBN TV, AIYR TV. It's a Roku channel. Look those up. I think Dad watches me on Box Chat, which then he looks up WSBN, and that's where I'm at. So unless he's on Facebook, I guess he's on Facebook. So, but WSBN, there's talks of a possible wrestling station, just a wrestling station that's in the works. I don't know where we're at with that, but a lot of things are coming, and it's going to be exciting. I got a big lineup of people that we're going to see. I'll be live again at every XIW Extreme Impact Wrestling event, where I'll have a vendor table there, and I'll be doing ringside commentary, so that's fun. But yeah, just continue the prayers and the support. I love it. It makes this work. And lastly, I wanted to say, if you guys out there have a lot going on, really, really, really pay attention to self-care. This podcast, one of the reasons for the podcast is because it's my self-care. You take care of 8 kids at a time, and their life is stressful, and life gets stressful with things to do, calendars, whatever. And man, when you have something that you can take your mind away from things for an hour, 40 minutes, it's worth it, guys. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. Dad, I want to say, man, that poem that you put up on Facebook, that was pretty cool. Thank you for that. If I could find my phone, I'd look it up. And I just want to read this to you guys. My dad posted this on there. You guys don't care, dude. You guys don't care that I'm taking my time. No, I know you don't. But I want to read this. How can I find it now? Okay. My dad posted this. It's called "Darling, I'm Standing Here." And I know this is about anyways, my mom passed away in October. She's battled cancer for 14 years. But this says, "Darling, I'm standing here. Hey, darling, I'm sitting here in heaven, up here in heaven. It's pretty cool. Catching up with so many friends. I wish I could stop you from crying. I'm okay. Heaven is so beautiful. I know that you live with our memories, and I know that I live in your dreams. I see that lonely tear, but darling, I'm standing here. I see you talk to me every night. It's hard that we're both apart. But darling, I'm standing here. Just look inside my heart, inside your heart. Look at your photos around our walls. The love, the warmth in our home. Darling, I'm standing here. I'll never leave you alone. I see you. Look for our special star when the sky is bright and clear. I hope you feel my warmth, darling. I'm standing here. A time will come when you leave this land, and we will stroll in heaven. I will hold your hand no matter how far, no matter how near. Darling, I'm standing here. I do not. Okay. So that was like, I needed that today. So yeah, this just shows that, loved ones, they're here, they're near you. And I know the purpose of this is to say thanks. So thank you. Huge Pop Wrestling fans, I came on for a short bit because I wanted to say thanks. And I love you guys. And we'll see you tomorrow for maybe a fun one with JB, and definitely Thursday for Sean Vincent. Love you guys. Love you, Dad. Love you, followers. And I'm out.
All my dogs, make some noise up in this house.
Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the grind. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your head is knocked out. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the grind. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your head is knocked out. Fight with Adrian Whisper is like a fight with the devil, because when he's dealing with you, you cannot get on this level. Fight with Adrian Whisper is like a fight with a king. It's like a fight with an army. They got the tanks and everything. He's leaving bruises and stitches, possibly leaving you crippled. Cause when he sets up the table and sends you straight through the middle. 6 sadistic free, beat that ass with a light bulb. Leave a piece of glass embedded in the back of your skull. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the ground. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your ass is knocked out. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the ground. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your ass is knocked out.
Yes, and wait, real quick. The Royal Belts is the designer and creator of the belt that I just showed you, the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast belt. Also, Mohammed, thank you. The Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast belt made from Royal Belts. So thank you guys again for being part of the show. Again, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And until if I don't see you guys, if you guys don't come on, have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. And I love you guys. Talk to you later.